it's snowing, and we, for some reason, have decided that the appropriate responses go to the place where snow is? I don't really follow. More caves. Okay. So, I don't know what we're gonna do here, really, but other than finding a secret hideout sign, apparently, for Zasha? Huh. Why do I have to defeat 5 Yetis? I don't think anyone asked me to do that. Whatever. You know... What? Oh, well there's a sign? Cool. That was much of a discovery. But I guess the other stuff here hasn't been drawn, so... Can't do any of the other stuff here. Weird. Okay. The only seesaw I can think of from any game, really, I'm probably forgetting some, because they're not usually that remarkable of a thing, is there are those record seesaws and blinks. But I think I've done enough blinks for the moment, probably. That's clearly a seesaw, yes. I don't know, I can't name any, like, remarkable seesaws in fiction. You know? It's not the sort of thing I think of. So is it implied that these are, like, floating on the water, though? Could I just think of some, like, tilting platform that would be fun? I do get a little bored with the first game did this as well, for what it's worth. I do get a little bored with the drawing prompts where I just draw a platform. Even the second game on the DS kind of did that. I think it's good to have some small number of them, but like more than one I tend to start going, okay, I don't really know what to draw anymore. It's just such a plain thing. I do prefer things that do things. This does a little bit of something, kind of, but it's not much. But anyhow, so I'm guessing the whole thing tilts, is the idea. It will be submerged in water. It feels like this is not the sort of thing that's important enough that I should actually like pause the recording and start thinking or whatever. I'm also not really sure what to do with this. How many stamps do I have at this point? Well, although, not many because I never bought any. What is going on with my cursor? Did my cursor flip or something at some point? I feel like something weird happened. I don't know. Sorry. I'll just sit and think for a second, because I'm just wasting time at this point. That's what happened. For some reason, if you're on this one... So normally, normally the cursor in this game does not respond at all to you rotating the Wii remote. But for some reason... Well, there actually is a circle tool. I forgot about that for drawing a circle. I still like drawing a circle by hand a bit more, but... Anyways, if this thing would stop going crazy. I do notice that if I go open up this menu and then put my cursor over the canvas, now the finger starts rotating. Huh. I'm guessing that's because if you actually select a stamp, then you can rotate the stamp. But it's weird seeing this cursor that doesn't normally rotate, suddenly rotate. Anyways. Dumb things I noticed. Explains what I got confused by a second ago. You know what? How stupid would it look if I just took this game at its word? It said seesaw, and I then inferred from the example drawing that it really means a platform that rotates. But you know what? No, let's actually just do a seesaw. We'll see if this looks dumb. It's the game's fault, not mine, because the game told me to make a seesaw. And my sensor bar said no. Why? Every single time it feels like, well, sometimes it just starts out horribly from the very beginning, but so often it works well at first in a given sitting, and then it gets horrible. So odd. Okay, anyways. So I need the top of the platform to be nice and congruent with what its collisions will be. This will make this platform fairly thick, in part because otherwise I don't really know what to take up all this space with. On the cleanest erasings I've ever done in this game. Okay. And I just can't even select stuff in the menu. Jeez. And that was not the one I wanted to go to, was it? Are my palettes in a different order now or something? Wait. Did I used to have a palette that had... Was this the palette I had that had lighter grays? I guess it was. Somehow I got confused. Whatever. Oh, jeez. I'm trying to do something really simple here. Like, I admit I'm not taking inspiration from anything here, but... kind of want to take the game at its word. Now, you know what? Another seesaw I guess I could think of from games. Of course, I keep saying too many references to this in Drawn to Life already, but there is the Patrick Teeter-Totter from Battle for Bikini Bottom. Anyways, all I'm really looking to do here is just draw what I have drawn already, and then do a little bit of very light shading for the sake of having done something shading-wise. Because this isn't something that I think is going to make me feel proud of having spent a lot of time on it, if I do. Because the whole premise is, I will draw what I kind of originally imagined, and I suspect it will look dumb. And if I do that and it looks dumb, well, I'll feel vindicated, but it'll still look dumb, so having spent a lot of time on it won't have felt worthwhile. And then just very crude shading for the red here. I feel like this will be... I'd say it's a little darker than I'd like, but I don't care a whole lot, so... Yeah, let's just override that part. Okay, and some very crude highlighting. Guess that's one way to do a horizontal line. If you can actually hold the cursor still. Anyways, took a silly amount of time for something that dumb. Let's see what this actually looks like. Probably something ridiculous just because the game kind of called it something that didn't make too much sense, but... Huh. Oh boy. Huh. It's not how I anticipated that would work at all, actually. It's neither what I thought would be from the name nor from the... from anything else, really. From the example art. So I just die if I fall down here, or what? Oh, this is where I was. Okay. Didn't think that would bring me back up here, but sure. Yeah, okay. Well, if I knew this was going to be a floating, rotating platform like this, where I could stand on any part of the rectangular... I feel like even if I used the art that they gave me, it still wouldn't have reflected the collisions very well. Strange. You made me draw a bridge before. Those are Bakis, I think, in those outfits. Huh. Yeah. Don't fall in the thick water. Somehow this reminds me of something, the whole, like, squares of fragile material thing. I'm not sure what it reminds me of. Let me think for a second. You know, honestly, I'm not really sure what it was I was thinking of. I don't know if this is what I was thinking of or not, but it's still something I can do. Well, it's not gonna be too. I'm gonna be approximating pixel art here, with not pixels. So this is gonna be very awkward. But let's start it. Oh boy, come on! This should go fast. Strong emphasis on should, though. Ah! Everything was going perfectly fine. Why? What? Okay. Huh. There you go. Cursor just stopped responding at all. No! So strange how perfectly this can work sometimes until it doesn't. Yes, this is going to be a weird approximation of pixel art that is not in any way aligned to pixel grid or anything. So we'll see how well it actually imitates the aesthetic. Okay, but I'm gonna go with 3 different colors here. How did I select a color that way just now? Look at this! I'm not changing anything about my physical setup. I don't know why the results are so varied. So that's one color. I think the other one... I'll use 3 colors here. That one... Do I want this to be my mid color or my darkest color? I kind of want this to be my darkest color, actually. Can't even just keep it still. Look at that! No. So even moving horizontally is not allowed. Even just moving the stick on the nunchuck does not allow me to keep this thing from jittering. I don't know what makes it jitter either, because nothing is moving anywhere physically. Not to any visible degree. Like, I have myself holding as still as I physically can, and I have a sensor bar that is absolutely holding still. Okay. Some of those things it should not take nearly as long as it does, but here we are. Okay. What size am I at? 40. A little bit further to the right. And on this side. Okay, let's start. I don't know if this is one of those cases where I should try to follow the source material very closely or not, because I know I'm not really going to get it. But, I'll go back to solid white for a bit. I actually do have a square brush. I could have been using that this whole time. Oh. Actually, I will use it now. But, no, I won't. Wait, no. Okay. Yeah, even though I try to align it to the grid, like what I have to start with here is not aligned to the grid, so it just won't work. But, we'll do what we can. Right now. Honestly, I don't think it's zero. I don't think this is turning out too badly. This part down here is... Congrats to take some artistic liberties on this part. That part in reality looks a little different than I did it just now. Okay, can I take something between this and this? What's going on down here? It's a little hard to see against the background the game gives me, unfortunately. This is really not quite the right color, but I'll work with it. Almost. I'll take it, I think. Hold on. You down here. Yeah. Clearly not a bird recreation, but nevertheless, I'm honestly kind of surprised how well this, at least on that screen, turned out to look. Yeah, it's basically Minecraft glass. I don't think that's what I was thinking of, but I couldn't think of anything else. I thought, hey, this would probably be quick and easy, and then it wasn't. But, you know, that's how this game works. Anyways, see ya.